Okay, everyone. So today we're going to review 4 different types of factoring polynomial. So the first one and the one that very more important is GCF. What does GCF stand for? GCF stands for greatest common factor. So here are a couple of steps that we're going to do. First thing first, we always have to look if we have a negative. We have to take the negative outside the parenthesis. And then if we have any of our common factor, we also take it outside as well. So think about this. Me and you, we just meet. We don't know much about each other, but we have something in common. Let's say we both like a certain music. Then what is the thing in common in our music? We want to talk about it. So we always want to take it outside the parenthesis and talk about it. Everything else that's not common, it's not a common factor, then we keep it to ourselves. Like we all have a little secrets, right? So the common factor, the common is called them GCF. The greatest common factor, we're going to talk about them always outside the parentheses, and everything not common is going to be in here. So that's the strategy. So how can we get it in math, and how are we going to do it? Okay. So let's start with this problem right here. I got 5b squared and 15b. So think about 5b, 5, and 15. The GCF going to be 5, right? So that's the first thing, because 5 go to 5 and 5 also go to 15. Now, how about b squared? b squared mean we have 2b. That's the b and b. And then if I have 15b, just think about the b only with just one b, right? So the mode that we both have in common is 1. You have 2b and I have 1b. So the mode in common is 5b. So what are we going to do with the common factor? Think about the sum that I just told you about. It's a common factor, so we're going to take it outside the parenthesis. I will put a parenthesis to whatever left that's not common. So if we are going to take the 5b outside, then the not common, we go into divide. We take out a factor of them, so we go into divide. So right here, I'm going to divide 5b squared by 5b. 5 divided by 5 gives you 1, or you don't really have to write it. B and B is gone, so giving you B left. So right here, I have 1B or just B. So that's one of them. Over here, I'm going to divide 15B's again, same thing. Divide 15B by 5B. So 15 divided by 5 give me positive 3. B divided by B, as you see, is gone right here, right? So let me erase this B earlier we were talking about. So we don't have to think about it. So here we only have 3 left. So my answer going to be the B and the 3. You don't always have to do this, but I just want to show you just so you can see. So right here is my final answer. If I want to check my work, I always can multiply back by distribute to see 5b times b, 5b squared. So that's the one way for you to check. And then 5b times 3, boom, so plus 15b. So the method we just did, we call them graded common factor. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and give it a try with the second question right here. So I have 4x, I'm going to rewrite. I have negative 4x to the power of 3. So 4x to the power of 3 plus ax squared minus 10x. Now, so let's find our GCF again. When you look at GCF, you want to look at the number. So what number do we both have the same? I have 4, 8, and 10. So the number that go to all of them is 2, right? How about x? That's the x3. So this is x, x, x. This is x squared. So it's just x and x. And this is x. So the mode we both have in common is just 1x. That's the mode we can have, right? So we want to take that common factor outside again, just like what we've been doing. The only difference here is we also start out our polynomial with a negative. So it's another story. Think about we have so much negative inside of us. The more negative you keep within you, one day you're gonna go so tired, right? You could explode. So you're always gonna let it go. Let it out. So instead of keep too much negative inside, vent it out, talk to somebody. So for right now, we're gonna leave the negative outside as well. We don't wanna keep too much negative inside. So you have to take the negative outside as well. I'm going to do a parentheses again. So here we go. What we're going to do right now is knowing that right here is a negative 2x. So make sure we also going to divide by that as well. So this is going to be a negative 2x. So I'm going to divide this by a negative 2x. So what does this give me? Negative 4 divided by negative 2. Make sure we know negative 4 divided by negative 2 giving us positive 2. X divided by x is gone. So I have 2x left. So that's going to be 2x squared. I'm going to continue divide over here by negative 2x again, what we already talked about, the common factor. A divided by negative 2 is going to give us negative 4, because a positive divided by a negative is a negative. X divided by x is gone. So what I have left is just another x. So I'm going to give you negative 4x. All right, and then I'm going to continue divide again, negative 2x. So negative divided by negative give me a positive. That's going to give me 5, positive 5, and x and x is gone. So give me a plus 5. All right, so that is my final answer, and this method is graded common factor. You always can distribute back if you want, and it's going to give you the same answer as well. Negative 2 times 2, negative 4. Negative 2 times negative 2, negative 2 times negative 4 give you positive 8, and negative 2 times 5 give you negative 10. So that is how we do GCF. So let's go ahead and take a look at the second method. It's called different of square. So whenever you think about the word different, we know the operation we're going to do is subtract. So that's how you see it. So this is like a little hint to show you a little specialty. So you know what kinds of method we're going to use. And then you see a power 2, right? For right now, we're just going to stay with the power 2. And you see that. And then you also see a binomial. What does a binomial mean? Binomial means 2 terms, right? So we have 1 term, 2 term, uno, dos. So that's a 2 term right there. And then we also see a perfect square. So to be a perfect square, we think about a very special number that the product of 2 same number gives you that. So for example, I want to use 25 right here. 25 is the product of 5 and 5. So 5 times 5 gives you 25. And if you draw them out, it's a shape of a square. Or we can also think about 16. It's going to be 2 times, no, not 2, it's 4 times 4. So it's also a square, right? So we call them a perfect square because it's the shape of a square with the 4 equal sign. So right here. We also, how about think about 10? We really like number 10 because we think that 10 is 5 times 5. No, that's a 5 plus 5. But 10 is 2 times 5. So when you think about 2 and 5, it's not a square. It's going to give us a rectangle. So we can't use that number 10, okay? So how can we do this question here? All you have to do is break it down. So right now, x squared, I'm going to break it down. So that's going to give me x and x, because that's the 2 x's. And then 25, I'm going to break it down. It's going to give us 5 and 5. All you have to do is break it down into 2 parentheses. And it's simple as that. Boom, 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 boom. First come, first serve. So the x come first. So first come, first serve. So you have the first one. So first come first on the first spot. Just like this. Doesn't matter what it is. As long as it comes first, it's got the first spot. We're not gonna skip the line, right? It's not good. And then whatever comes second, I'm gonna go second. So this is the second. Different color. So let's do blue. So I have second. And then I also have second. So the second right here is 5 and 5. We want to make sure the sign have to be opposite in order for us to do that. So we go to do this method. So I have a minus and a plus. So minus and plus, of plus and minus doesn't matter as long as the sign is opposite. So let's check. X times x give me x squared. Negative 5 times positive 5 give us negative 25. So that's pretty good right there, right? So that's how we do. Okay, why don't we go ahead and try with the next question at the same time. So let's give it a try right here. I have 1. What number give you 1? That is 1 and 1. What going to give us 16? We're going to break it down. And then here we have 4 times 4. Ooh, B times B. Excellent. And then I'm going to break it down with two parentheses again. First come, first serve. What do we see first? We see number 1, so I put 1 on this spot, 1 on this spot. What do we see next? We see 4B, so we see 4B here, and we see 4B there. What happened to the sign? The sign have to be opposite. Doesn't matter what comes first, but right here I can put plus, and then this have to be minus. And then we should be done. 1 times 1 is 1. Positive 4 times negative 4, negative 16, b squared. And we are done with this method. So the next method we go into learn see a trinomial A B C. It comes from this formula as ax squared plus bx plus c. So let's take a quick look at this example. We got x squared plus 12x plus 35. So we are going to matching them. So the number in front of a at this moment, we are imagining that are one of them. So our a value going to be 1. Our b is the number in front of x squared, so positive 12, and c the number by itself, positive 35. So here I'm going to write it down, a, b, c. A equal 1, b equal positive 12 or just 12, and c equal 35. To do this method as simple as we're going to make a little x. It represents multiply. So we're going to multiply a times c. If we multiply a times c, it's going to give me 35. And then b is 12. Our job is find two numbers that multiply to give 35 but add to give you 12. What number could that be? So we find out that 1 and 35 is multiplied to give you 35. But 1 times 35 doesn't give you 12. So I will stay with 5 and 7. So 5 times 7, think about this, give me 35. And 5 plus 7 also give me 12. So that's what I'm looking for. What we're going to do right now, see, I'm just going to write my answer as two parentheses because it's x squared. So we have x and x. And then we have plus 5 because it's a positive. And then plus 7. And we are done. So this factored method right here, as easy as that. Now we're going to give it a try for the second one, see if we can work it out or not. And obviously we can, right? So a being the number in front. So in this case, a going to be 1, because we have 1 x squared. B is not just 10, but it's going to be negative 10. We take them all. It's a negative 10, and c is the number by itself, so it's 35. So b is negative 10, and c is 25. We go into multiply two number like an x again. So I multiply 1 and c. So a times c, then this is going to be 25. And b right here is e, negative 10. We are trying to find a number that multiply to give us 25, but add to give us negative 10. So 5 and 5 look really great, but 5 plus 5, for 5 times 5 give us 25, but 5 plus 5 going to give us 10. And we need to be at negative 10. So for that reason, we change it to negative 5 times negative 5. Because a negative times negative, you positive, and a negative plus another negative, we will be more negative. So our answer right here going to be negative 5 and negative 5. So we will have x minus 5, x minus 5. If you ever see x times x and we say x squared, then same thing, we see x minus 5 twice. So for that reason right here, we will double them and we will say x minus 5 squared. That is our final answer because they are exactly identical. So we have x minus 5 squared. Finally, our last factoring method called grouping trinomial ABC when a not equal 1. So let's take a quick look. So we will have exactly the same thing we've been doing. We have a, b, c. It's a trinomial, 1, 2, 3. So in this time, our a value is 2. Our b is 5 and our c is in negative 7. The a values is not equal 1. So how can we do this method? So what we're going to do right now is still the same thing. We're going to do the x. So we're going to multiply a times c. And a times c is going to give us negative 14. And b is going to give us 5. Our job is find a number that could be a factor of 5. What could that be? I messed up. Oh my God. Okay, so this is our last factoring method, grouping trinomial A B C when a not equal 1. So we can see right here we have 3 factors. 2x squared plus 5x minus 7 is the follow our ABC. So a equal, b equal. A equal 2, the number in front, b is equal positive 5, and c in negative 7. We are still going to do the x, so a times c is going to give us negative 14. And then b giving us 5. So our job is find out a factor of negative 14. What is two numbers multiplied to give us negative 14, but add to give you 5. So the two numbers are going to be 2 and 7. Now, 2 times, in order to get negative 14, one of them had to be negative. So we will try negative 2. So negative 2 times 7, going to give us negative 14. And then negative 2 plus 7 giving us 5. We really want to put the answer like this, x minus 2, x plus 7. We want to, but if check, wait a minute, negative 2 times 7 doesn't give us negative 7, and x times x doesn't give us 2x squared. So we can't do that. For that reason right here, this is a little bit extra from what we've been doing here, because this time our a is not equal 1. So what we're going to do right here is we find the two number, we already found it. We're going to use the two number to split the middle term. So we will split the middle term right here. Instead of 5x, I'm going to slip to negative 2x, and then plus 7x follow the sign. And then I will drop everything else that we have not done. So everything else right here, we just drop it down. So 2x squared is still right there. And then minus 7. We're going to split them, and we're going to factor this group and this group by using GCF. 2x squared minus 2x, they both have 2x in common, as you can see. They have 2, they both have x. And then I'm going to do a little parenthesis. If we take the 2 out, 2 divided by 2 give me 1. X squared divided by x give you just an x left. Negative 2 divided by 2 giving us negative 1. X divided by x is gone, so negative 1. Right here, our common factor, as you can see, is 7, right? Because they both have 7. So we're going to take that 7 out. This is positive 7. And then we got the parenthesis. 7 divided by 7 giving you x left because it's 7x. Negative 7 divided by 7 giving us negative 1. So our common factor right now, as you can see, is something that repeated twice, is x minus 1. We see here, and we also see here. So we see x minus 1 on both sides. So I'm going to put x minus 1 out, just like a factor, like a GCF, but that is our common. And what we're going to have left is 2x plus 7. So that is our final answer. How we're going to check our work? X times 2x, 2x squared, check. Negative 1 times 7, negative 7, bingo. So that is how we do it, okay? Now let's give it a try to the last one more example. See if we can practice them. We're going to have our ABCs again. So A equal 6. B in the number in front, it's not 13, but negative 13. And C by itself is negative 5. So we're going to multiply them again, just like what we've been doing. So here we go. A times C. 6 times negative 5 is negative 30. and b by itself is negative 13. Our goal is trying to find a number that multiply to give us negative 30, but add to give you negative 13. The number going to be 2 and 15. So to play with your number, so we have 2 and 15. 2 times 15 doesn't give me negative, so one of them gotta be negative. And when we add them, we end up on negative. That means the big number have to be negative, so that's a negative 15. Then I'm going to use that to flip the number. So right here, we got positive 2x and then minus 15x. So 2 minus 15 gives you negative 13. I will brought everything down like what we did earlier. So 6x squared minus 5. Right here is a positive 2, so I want to add that positive right there. We're going to find a common factor for this and this. So a common factor right here we both see is the number 2, because they both have number 2, so I would take the 2 out. They also have x, so I would take the x out as well. Now I'm going to do a parenthesis. 2 divided by 6 divided by 2 give me 3. X squared divided by x giving us an x left, a plus. 2 divided by 2 is gone, x divided by x is gone, but technically like a 1 because it's positive 1, like a placeholder. 15 and negative 5, they both have negative 5 as a common factor. So I will take the negative outside every single time you see the negative, right? So minus 5. Negative 15 divided by negative 5 going to giving us a positive 3x. And then negative 5 divided by negative 5 going to give us a positive 1. So plus 1. Similar to what we just did, we both have 3x plus 1. And we both have 3x plus 1. So I will take the 3x plus 1 out in the parenthesis. And then I'm going to take 2x minus 5. That's what we have left. And this is how we do this. I check 2 times 3, 6, x times x squared, 1 times negative 5, negative 5. So that is how we have them, and we are done with this one. Okay, so that's our grouping method. This is all the 4 factored methods that we're going to do. I would highly recommend you to pause it at any time that you need to watch it again and then practice. The more you practice, the better you will be. You can do this too. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.